Now in West Virginia, voters are making their decisions in a heated Republican race over a seat in the House. Incumbents David McKinley and Alex Mooney are running for a congressional seat for a newly drawn district. But the election could be a referendum on the future of the Republican Party, with former President Trump exerting his influence on this campaign as well. NBC News correspondent Vaughn Hillyard joins us from outside a polling location in Wheeling, West Virginia with the latest. Hey, Vaughn, good morning. So we just laid out some of this with Dasha there in Pennsylvania. What is the influence of the former president here? So first, walk us through the differences between these two candidates, but then tell us, is this sort of coming down to a battle between Trump ideals and bipartisanship? What is the support like for this candidate? Is it a test of his influence?
Right, Savannah. We're talking about one of 435 congressional districts in the United States. This is the top half, the northern half of West Virginia. But why do we care? Why are we standing here right now? Because this Republican primary is pitting these two incumbent Republicans against one another after redistricting. But the dividing line is very clear. Alex Mooney has the endorsement of Donald Trump. He voted no on the major piece of bipartisan infrastructure legislation, and he has referred to the January 6th insurrection as just a protest, in his own words. And then on the other hand, you've got David McKinley, who first started serving in public office in this northern West Virginia area back in 1980. He's an established name. He's known. But he voted for the infrastructure package, one of 13 Republicans to do so. He also voted for the independent January 6th commission that ultimately was not approved, but he voted for an independent commission to investigate the insurrection. And so that is where the question comes down to. Is that Trump endorsement able to pull weight here and lift Alex Mooney enough over David McKinley, who is the candidate in this race with those roots of West Virginia, who has long served this community? In fact, right next door, Savannah, there's a town called McKinleyville, named after David McKinley's grandfather. That is just how rooted this family is here.
And hey, Vaughn, you mentioned both of their stances on the infrastructure deal. What kind of bigger implication could that have?
Yeah, again, there were just 13 Republicans who voted for the infrastructure deal. You know, when we talk about bipartisanship, for the Republican Party in the era of Trump, voting yes on that was about the closest one can get to being bipartisan while still maintaining that they are conservative. I want to let you hear David McKinley just 4 days ago justify his vote to the folks here in West Virginia.
What we did was, quite frankly, fulfill a campaign commitment we had made. In West Virginia, we've known the condition of it. I have a report card that I often flash, is published by the American Society of Civil Engineers, and it ranks West Virginia as having the worst infrastructure in the country.
Savannah, David McKinley is the candidate not endorsed by Trump. This is a major test here to see just how influential Trump's endorsement is in changing the minds of voters.
Absolutely. Vaughn, I quickly want to ask you something, of course, timely right now. Abortion. Both candidates have made comments on the future of it in the U.S. They both believe that life begins at conception, but they have different approaches to who should decide the laws for abortion procedures. How are they different? Do they represent different stances within the GOP, and do we know how voters are reacting to the stances?
Yeah, for decades now, Republicans have been advocating for overturning Roe v. Wade. But now this is a moment in which there's distinctions among Republicans as to exactly what that means, exactly what women what their reproductive rights will look like. Alex Mooney, the Trump-backed candidate, has advocated for a federal nationwide ban on abortions, but he would leave the punishment for the states to determine. On the other hand, David McKinley, the not Trump-backed candidate, has positioned that it should be up to the states on whether abortion is illegal. Again, a distinction here between Republicans from the very same congressional district.
Yeah, and an important one that will have lasting implications. Vaughn, thank you so much. Great to see you. Great reporting.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.